Number 14, Frank Worthington. And the leading scorer in the American...
From the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, it's soccer between the Philadelphia Fury and the Houston Hurricane. Hello there, everybody. This is Al Meltzer along with Walt Chesowitz, who, by the way, is coach of the American Pan Am team. And congratulations, old buddy. You're 2-0 down there with those folks.
We've been very fortunate, very surprised as well. A young team, but they're hanging in there. We play Argentina Tuesday in the quarterfinals, so we're hoping.
Well, we're bringing you a game tonight from Houston, Texas, down here in the eighth wonder of the world, the Houston Astrodome, against a team that hasn't lost at home. They're 10-0 against a team that hasn't won on the road. They're 0-9.
I'll tell you, it should be an interesting match. Philadelphia deserved to win in Philly 3-2 that game, and I think this time they're hoping to bring their first road victory. Bob Rigby, a new surprise from Philadelphia, will be in the goal, so maybe that'll inspire them a little bit. Houston is ready. They have Dale Russell and Huskovy and Berto, all good players, so it should be a great contest.
He said Bob Rigby. We have a story for you when we get back in just a moment.
Of attorneys who want to offer you their knowledge and services for fair and reasonable costs. There are times in our lives when we need legal help. The legal group is waiting to help you with divorce, personal injury claims, real estate laws, personal bankruptcies, wills and estates, business bankruptcies, criminal offenses. Start the wheels of justice turning on your side by calling the legal group, 783-0174.
Let's take a look at the starting lineups for tonight's game. And goal, that's it, Bob Rigby. And oh, is that a story? And we'll tell it to you as the game progresses. Go ahead with the defenders.
Okay, defenders Brooks Kreider and Nicky Nikolic will do the sweeping. John Dempsey will stop, and Fran O'Brien will play the left side of the back players. Midfielders, Richie Reese, Dick Lukic, and Peter Menino. And up front, they'll go with Miro Djordjevic, Frank Worthington, and David Robb. I think Miro will be withdrawn as a fourth midfielder.
Yeah. Will Hammond in goal, and keep it up for the Houston Hurricane.
Defenders Ian Anderson, Stuart Jump will sweep. Matt O'Sullivan from San Diego will do the stopping, and Howie Charbonneau from Hartford College will play left side. At midfield, he plays with four midfielders: Kai Huskovy, Horst Bertel, Dale Russell from Philadelphia Textile, and Walter Schubert, originally from Germany. Up front, two front runners, Ruben Morales and Eduardo Morasco. Morales has been doing all the scoring, a lot of it.
Okay, we'll be back in a moment with the kickoff after this. Scoring itself. And in the other net is Paul Hammond. 47 goals against 1.47 goals against average. That's going to take care of it, and we're going to have the kickoff right now. The Fury will be in the dark uniforms, and the host Houston Hurricane, which is 10-0.
I don't know if you caught that act. Did you see on the kickoff?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Frank Worthington saw Paul Hammond out of the goalkeeper's area and just try to strike one from 60 yards out, but to no avail. But a good effort.
All right, here's the situation now at goal. Bob Rigby. It hit Worthington back of the head. What happened is Rigby, which acquired another goal, he sold him back to L.A., which in turn sold him to Philadelphia just yesterday. Cash deal, and he joined the team here, and they didn't know whether he was going to be eligible or not because the papers hadn't been submitted to the league office in time, but apparently they were, and so he's in tonight instead of Benaran. There's your boy. When I say your boy, I'm talking about obviously Dale Russell from Philadelphia Textile.
He's having a superb year. He's playing sort of a changed role this year as a defensive midfielder, and he comes from behind a lot now, and he has scored several goals, but very heavily in the assist area. In fact, just now he pushed Morales through, and there was a foul, and they have a direct free kick.
Just outside the box, Rigby. We'll talk about being a goalkeeper on a team after you've just joined it a few hours earlier. Here's the kick. And goal! A rather auspicious start. Only a minute and a half into the game, a goal. On a direct free by Number 7, Schubert.
He took that very well, what he did. Here, let's take a look at the replay. What happens here, Ian Anderson, the captain, dummies over the ball, and then with the left foot, he bends the ball to the near post off the hands of Bob Rigby. I think what Bobby should have done, maybe box it rather than try to catch it, and it's in the net, and it's a bad start for Bobby. Unfortunate for him, being just now getting off the plane and so forth and so on. So hopefully he can recover from this one. And let's have another look here. We see Ian Anderson faking left-footed to the near post, slipping right through the hands of Bob Rigby. 1-0 Hurricane.
First-round draft choice of the Adams back in '73, led him to a championship, went on to the Cosmos, out to Los Angeles, to Tulsa on paper, back to L.A., and now, at his request, by the way, back home in Philadelphia. East Stroudsburg All-American, of course, and the Philadelphia boy.
No question, he's a quality goalkeeper. I think he'll bring a new dimension to the Philadelphia area. He's from there. People know him. He can play the goal. He's played for the national team for the United States on many occasions, and he's done very well for the Cosmos as well as the Aztecs. So
Frank,
it's a good acquisition and compliment to General Manager Tom Fleck for that one.
Frank Worthington and Rich Reese are on the field tonight. That is another story, a trade that was almost made with Tulsa.
Nicholas, number 4.
Nicholas guilty of the foul. And as you watch number 13, Stewart jump.
And these are the problems with the goalkeeper not knowing what's happening when he's a new one. On set pieces such as this one, free kicks, the defense doesn't know Rigby doesn't know the defense, and it's difficult to organize against the set pieces, as was evident 2 minutes ago when Schubert scored on it.
No whistle.
Hoskevy.
It was Hoskevy, it was Anderson on a penalty kick, and Hoskevy that scored the 2 goals in Philadelphia on a night that Dusan Lukic had 2 goals and an assist. And really, Philadelphia outplayed them badly. 3-2 does not indicate the difference in the 2 teams that night at Vet Stadium, where this team, the Fury, has been able to beat good clubs. I mean, really good clubs in the league, including, of course, the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Detroit Express, clubs like that, and yet can't win on the road with their own 9 and now down 1-0 right here in the opening moments of the game, minute 21 seconds in. With a score by Schubert.
I think the story is that you have to win some games on the road if you want to be a contender. And obviously, the Philadelphia hasn't done it yet. They seem to get a very slow start of every away game that we've televised, at least to Philadelphia, and tonight is evident as well.
Several moves have been made by Tom Fleck, the new general manager, and he'll be our halftime guest to explain the moves that were and were not made. That's a story of the right there. You see Frank Worthington, who thought he was going to be in Tulsa, Oklahoma today. But as it turned out, the team that he played for, Bolton, would not allow him, and that's according to the contract and the agreement, he's on loan from there, to be traded because they thought that Tulsa had a shot at making the playoffs, and therefore he would have to stay here in the States after their season started. And Worthington is really their biggest draw. And they felt that with Philadelphia, if they didn't get in the playoffs and their chances weren't that good, that he'd be able to get home for the opening of their season, which is good thinking on their part. But I don't know whether Frank is going to be able to play the game in the state of mind that he's in. He says he's going to try and show him. That's all. We'll see.
He's a free-spirited guy. I think he's going to put out whatever he can do, and it looks like he's working really hard already.
Saw him before the game, and I said, how's everything? He said, well, I'm going to take care of business tonight, which is of course, Elvis Presley taking care of business, and he is the #1 Elvis Presley fan in the entire world. Hoskevy. We're in the Astrodome, billed as the 8th wonder of the world until, of course, the one was built down in New Orleans and the one up in Seattle, which are bigger than this. This seats about 50,000. You're watching the baseball configuration. The end lines move from third base to right field. The football is a different configuration. It runs from first base to left field, and they move the stands around. Number 2, Anderson. Chasing it down, number 18, Charbonneau. And Hammond in goal. 1-0 at a minute 21 on a direct free. Schubert.
Roscoe to Hoskevy. Roscoe.
I think he's offside. No call.
Marked by Lukic.
That's a good call by Peter Johnson, the referee. Morasco was obstructing there and bumped off the midfielder, Dick Lukic. I think we need to give some credits here to the Houston team. They've come up with a fantastic record this year. They're the top of the conference with their record, and I think a lot of credit is due to the coaching of this team by Timo Lekowski, a former Hartford coach and former national youth team coach for the United States. Not too many superstars here, just a lot of good players. He's put them together, and they've done fantastically well.
Wonder how Van Aaron feels. He used to be here in Houston, and he was traded because his coach, who had him in college, kind of lost confidence in him. And I think tonight he wanted to show them he could do the job, and then all of a sudden, Rigby's in, and Rigby's in goal, and in the mid-21, it's 1-zip.
It sort of backfires. It's sometimes difficult to guess which way is the right way, and unfortunately for Philadelphia, it didn't work out.
We played under 8 minutes, and it has been the Houston Hurricane, which seems to have something extra here on the turf. This is where AstroTurf was invented, named after the Astrodome. I think much to the chagrin of a lot of athletes.
I think so. Franz Beckenbauer is not too happy about the AstroTurf, and by the way, I think we're going to see him in Philadelphia very soon.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
Kevin Murphy is here tonight, but not in uniform. He's about to take a plane to California to join the Fort Lauderdale club.
And that might be a good deal for all concerned, because Philadelphia acquired Curtis Sleeper, who's the captain of the Pan American team, and he's now in Puerto Rico. He's a midfielder. He might bring a little bit of another dimension to Philadelphia's team. And Kevin probably will get a lot of playing time for Fort Lauderdale, because they need some defenders there, of the American kind anyhow.
On the recommendation of the Pan Am coach, Walter Chisowitz, I understand.
Who said that?
Well, I read that somewhere. Leeper won't be available till after the Pan Am Games, though, right?
He'll be in Puerto Rico until the 16th.
You said that emphatically. Corner kick coming out, number 15, Ruben Morales. Bends it in. That's going to be another corner kick. Knocked out of bounds by Brooks Kreider.
These are very difficult corner kicks to defend against. Morales, who's a Latin American player from Argentina, they have a good ability to bend the ball. They call it banana kicks, and it's like a curveball in baseball, and it really causes a lot of problems for goalkeepers. Goal! There it is.
I don't know who got a head on it. Let's see. Muscovine, maybe not. No, it's number 2, Anderson.
And this is the thing we just talked about seconds ago. It's a curveball, nobody protected the near post, and let's have a look at it. Here it is. Morales bends the ball, and Brooks Kreider misses the header, and Rigby actually was late coming to the near post and misses the clearance, and the ball goes in. It's 2-0.
Less than 10 minutes into the first 45-minute half, and it's 2-0 already, the Houston Hurricane. Well, you talk about digging a hole.
It's just unexplainable to me about the misfortunes of the Philadelphia team on the road. And again, it's the same story. Last time we did it from Tulsa. Tulsa came out and banged away 3 early goals. Now, with 8 minutes into the game, we're down 2.
Schubert, who has the goal at a minute 21, number 7. And the Hurricane with a 10-zip record here at home. If they win tonight with Tampa Idol, will take over first place in the entire American Conference, which is really a turnaround from last year. They've won more games at home than they won all of last season. Kai Huskeby.
Headed away by number 4,
This program authorized under rights granted by the Philadelphia Fury solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of a printed description and accounts of the event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the express consent of the Fury, strictly prohibited. Nice tackle by Nicollet. The object
well
for the
done.
case selected, subject to the approval of the Philadelphia Fury. Fury, which has done absolutely nothing here in the first 10 minutes, gave up 2 goals. And at 8:51, Morales gets credit for it on the corner kick. The Fury returns home to Vet Stadium Wednesday evening, July 18, to host the Minnesota Kicks, led by Alan Willie, the holder of almost every Minnesota scoring record. The Admiral night for several lucky fans receiving replica game jerseys courtesy Admiral Sporting Goods. At halftime, a special game jersey team from the Special Olympics. Tickets at Ticketron, the Fury office, for call 755-5400. The Minnesota Kicks, a team which, by the way, surprisingly, draws better than the baseball and as well as the football team out there. They're in the 40,000s at Metropolitan Stadium. Why do they love soccer so much in Minnesota?
I'll tell you, I don't know the reason for it. I think maybe the origin of that population is Scandinavian and Swedish and so forth, and maybe that's the reason for it. But they do pack them in, no question about
it. 2-0 goals by Morales and Schubert. And you can't see into that corner there as they come out. Philadelphia in control. Brent O'Brien. Rich Reese, number 11. Well, these guys went on a plane yesterday and didn't know whether they're going to be playing on another plane to somewhere else or what was going to happen to them. And it's really unsettling for everybody because all kinds of deals were being made in the last 24 hours. Then you get a goalie, you throw him in the net immediately. He gets off the plane. Guys are playing that, as I said, Worthington and Reese thought that they had been traded until the deal was negated. Other players weren't sure of their status, and they only have 15 dressed tonight, including the assistant coach, Derek Trevor.
I'm not so sure. I'm maybe second-guessing at the moment, but whether it's fair to a goalkeeper of Bob Rigby's stature to take him off a plane and put him in the lineup and into the goal, it's sometimes maybe not the right thing to do.
That was a shot on goal by David Robb, no problem at all for Hammond. Fury, which finds itself down by 2 goals in the early going, reminiscent of the game we brought you from Tulsa, in which they were down 3-0 early in the game and never could draw out of it.
And Houston has come out and is playing at a very good pace. They've slowed nothing down, and then they're just going right at you. So this, they're looking for more goals.
Schubert. And it will be a goal kick. Okay, we're going to be back here with more action. It's 3-0. The Houston Hurricane leading the Philadelphia Fury.
Turn to play with a goal kick.
Back to the live action here at the Astrodome, and it's 2-0 the Hurricanes, scoring at 1:21 at 8:51. Schubert and Morales. And by the way, Martinovic did not make the trip. He has the ulnar bone in the wrist broken in the San Jose game. Wrists are big in Philadelphia this year.
Seems that way.
Manny Trio, recently Randy Lurch, the Philadelphia Phillies, and now here are the Fury. Martinovic just couldn't play with it, so he's sitting it out. Nice tackle by Brent O'Brien.
Fran is going down to that AstroTurf. He's going to lose some skin in the next 60 minutes or so, but he's done a superb job defending on that side.
The reason they have the artificial turf, folks, is they tried to grow grass in here, but they couldn't because there wasn't enough sun coming through the roof, and so they had to come up with this, what they called mod sod, invented by the Monsanto Company, I believe, and it's now spread all over the world like crabgrass. We have a goal kick coming up. And we'll be back. It's 2-0 Hurricane. Back to the live action. Houston with a couple of shots on goal and 2 scores. 2 for 2. Philadelphia with 2 shots on. Yet to dent. There's 28 minutes remaining here in the first half. 2 scores. Schubert at 1:21 and Morales at 8:51 on a corner kick. And the Hurricane, which is yet to lose at home, on its way to with their 11th straight. It is imperative that the Fury get something here before halftime. Get back into the game. Another goal would be disastrous.
And they must get on the board, and the sad part about it now is that both teams are playing 4 midfielders, so the matchups are even at midfield, and it's going to be very difficult to penetrate for Philadelphia unless they start sending some back players into the attack. Maybe Fran O'Brien's got to come up, or maybe even the sweeper from the back moving into the attack, either Nicholas or Dempsey.
Foul on O'Sullivan. Matt O'Sullivan.
Matt was a former member of the U.S. Olympic team in '75, and then he played some soccer in the San Francisco Bay Area, and then Timo Lukowski picked him up last year, and now he's had all the playing time in the world. He's playing as a stopper for them. He's done a superb job.
Dempsey, and it would have been outside. Of course, with the Minnesota Kicks coming in, and then after that, the New York Cosmos. And Joe Sinalia got himself into an altercation yesterday during a practice session at Meadowlands Stadium with one of the people cleaning up the stadium, happened to be, I believe, of Italian descent. who I think said something to him in his native tongue. He took issue with it, went after him, and a couple of guys ended up in the hospital.
So you didn't know Georgia could fight, huh?
I don't know if he did any fighting or not, but there was several of the players were involved. Chasing the ball down. The Hurricane, wait a minute. Oh, Rigby makes the save. I thought for a moment that just going to get Kai Hoskevy in there with a foot and make it 3-zip.
I believe the ball already went out of bounds. Here it is. Yes, Anderson hooked it back in superbly. Rigby went after it very well and almost a collision, but the play was to no avail because it was out of bounds.
On Saturday night, July 21st, the Fury and the champion Cosmos, the first 10,000 arriving that night received good-looking Fury t-shirts courtesy of Burger King. Plan to attend the biggest soccer night of the year. That's the Cosmos. July 21. Tickets at Ticketron, the Fury office, or call 755-5400. At the moment, 2-0 Hurricane. 25 minutes and change remaining in the first half of the Astrodome. Live action brought to you right here on TV 17 in Philadelphia. Walt Chislewicz, coach of the Pan Am Club, which is 2-0 in competition. And Waller will be heading back to San Juan right after the telecast. Another corner kick, which seemed to be adventures for the Fury this year, no matter who's in goal. And we're going to be back here in just a moment to pick up the action. It's 2-0 Hurricane. Back to the live action, and the Hurricane in the white uniforms leading. And this is going to be a corner kick.
And there's a little bit of miscommunication there. You can see Bertold arguing with Hammond, and they both collided in the corner kick. Bertold gave it up. Hammond asked for the ball and never got it. So Fury will have a corner kick, and hopefully we can get something out of this one.
Number 9, Miro Djordjevic. And headed out of the box, chased down by Peter Menino.
Bertold, by the way, was acquired 2 weeks ago from Hamburg, Germany, who has won the Bundesliga championship this year. He's a midfielder and an excellent one, and now he's come for the summer games here for the Houston Hurricanes.
The foul is called on Frank Worthington. There's Frank. Frank's got a few problems. He wanted to get traded, and they tried to accommodate him and make a big deal with Tulsa, and his team back in England negated the deal. I understand the league next year, though, when they sign a player, are going to sign him to a contract, and that loan business is eventually going to have to come to an end if you're going to have a major league. You got to have players who are under contract to the team and not subject to recall or anything like that from a foreign country.
That's part of the policy for the future, and I think already England has said that they will not allow to have any loan players. Therefore, either you buy them or don't touch them.
What kind of money do they make over there?
Not too good.
Okay.
Not in England.
Then that solves the problem.
The pound is weak and the Queen's weak and all that. You know that story.
No, I don't, but does it bear repeating here live on the air? Horst Bertel. Russell may be, I said this to Waller before the telecast, the best player to come out of Philadelphia in soccer. He said, yeah, with one exception. Okay.
You know the exception.
Yes, right.
I played in Philly.
I know you did.
Looking for Yorkshire.
Two nothing with 21, just under 22 minutes to go. Worthington to Menino, but nothing happened. Should be. Oh, hit the
corner
stick.
kick.
It's going to be a corner kick.
That was some good combination play there with Menino and Worthington, and consequently, with all that, corner kick is here, and I think Djordjevic is going to take it. And we can look for an in-swinger as well here. Let's see what happens.
On the offense. That's Morales. Headed back by Kreider. Hoskevy has it over on the left wing. Going to be an offside.
Offside. That's a good call. He was off. And what's interesting about this team, the Houston Hurricane team, is that they come out of the back very quickly. They get into the counterattacks immediately, and that's a sign of good coaching. Team has spent a good time of working on counterattacks, and he brings back players into the attack. you'll find Anderson attacking, you'll find Stewart Jump attacking, you'll find Matt Sullivan going into the attack. So he comes up with a lot of people in his attacks, which makes for a creative and exciting team.
Part of the South American connection up front, that's Morales, number 15, who works with Marasco, number 9. And Bob Rigby making his initial start rather auspiciously, giving up goals at 1:21 and at 8:51, down 2-0 with 20 minutes to go here in the first half. Live action from the Astrodome, and the Fury, which is still trying to win its first game away from the Vet, has got to score something before halftime to get back in this thing. Dempsey and Worthington.
Corner kick.
Corner kick coming up.
It's starting to happen now. The Fury are getting a bit more organized. They're looking for some purposeful attacks, and this was a good one where they're pumping some air balls to Worthington, and then he's trying to drop them up to Georgievich or David Raab.
Dempsey chips it. Wait a minute. Got for a minute. Just a brief moment that Red Grease might have been able to, but it wasn't strong enough, and Hammond got a hand on it.
No power, but the opportunity was there. He was actually on about the 3-yard line, and Richie could have had himself a goal, but he put it in the near post, and Hammond's a big boy. He's 6'4", and he's got a good reach. He was able to handle that very easily. And Georgievich, again, will take a corner kick.
Chased down by Menino. Into the box. Whistle offside. We're going to be back here with the action at the Astrodome in just a moment. The Hurricane leading 2-0. The live action at the Astrodome, and in white, the Houston Hurricane, leading by a score of 2-0. The Furies' Rich Reese will throw it in. Philadelphia leads in shots on goal, 4-3, but on 3 shots on goal, Houston has scored twice. Schubert at 1:21, and Morales on a corner kick at 8:51, and that's where we stand. Fury on the attack, Worthington into the box, Raab, and controlled by Horst Bertel. In all fairness to the Hurricane, the last time they played at the Vet, Schubert, Bertel, Morales, and Charbonneau did not play. This is the first time in a long time they've had a healthy team. Throw in by the Hurricane. Nicky from Yugoslavia. Part of the group when Marco took over as coach. Marco, the Yugoslavian coach, and the style of play, and wanted Yugoslavian players.
He brought them in, and they've looked on many occasions as an excellent team, particularly at home, but still that difficulty of playing away from home, and that's something of a story about. There we go. Nikolic is getting a bit of a warning from Peter Johnson, the referee. And let's look at the replay here. Here's Nicky coming in a little bit high over the ball, and there he traps him in the web there, and it brings him down. That's a good call, and it's a foul, and Nicky deserves a warning. But I was saying, there's mentally some kind of a psychological thing with European players playing away from home. They're schooled in such a way that when they go away to play their games from their stadium, they look for a tie and that kind of a thing.
Hammond.
Oh, that was a close opportunity by Georgievich. I thought he was able to reach that one, but he just missed it.
Russell. They'll set it up again. Over the midline. Schubert, who has a goal. Anderson working, give and go. Anderson on the wing, Bertel. Bertel's going to get a shot. No, he isn't.
Oh, that's well done by Nikolic. He saved the goal for sure. And the Hurricane came out with a superb combination there between Anderson, Bertel back to Anderson, and fortunately Nikolic was there to break it up. Great defensive play there by Nicky Nikolic.
Cosmos leading with 30 minutes to go against the New England team men by a score of 2-1. Here's your corner kick coming up. Schubert.
Taken away by O'Brien.
O'Brien got a head on it. Marasco had a shot at it. Chipped in by Anderson. And Menino gets it out of trouble over on the far wing.
And Rigby came up with one superb save there because it looked like it was goal bound again, but he reacted very well to that one.
David Robb. Lukic ahead. Georgievich, no call.
And it's no call is probably correct. It might have been a dangerous play, if anything, but certainly not tripping or anything. High bouncing ball, and O'Sullivan just reached up and cleared it out of bounds. The Philadelphia Furies hosting an amateur tournament for select and all-star teams from the Delaware Valley. These squads will soon begin competition for the Benny McLaughlin Cup, Jimmy Mills Cup, and the Fury Cup. Competition will be held in various locations throughout the Delaware Valley, with the final scheduled for Saturday, August 4th, immediately preceding the Fury-Portland game at the Vet. Take this opportunity to come out and see some of the finest amateur teams in the area.
Bob Rigby in goal, who just joined the team after being purchased from Los Angeles after he had been sold to Tulsa. Tulsa sold him back to Los Angeles after Colin Bolton was acquired, and all kinds of things were going on. And so Rigby came here tonight. Didn't think he was scheduled to be our halftime guest, and suddenly we find him in goal.
And speaking of those amateur nights, and by the way, in all seriousness, some of the great players in Philadelphia, they were there, and Benny McLaughlin was one of them, a great forward for the Philadelphia Americans, U.S. national team. Walter Barr, another one from Philadelphia, a superb player, Jackie Dunn, just a number of great players from Philly, and certainly Dale Russell belongs in that group as well.
Peter Menino from the University of Pennsylvania, Rich Reese from Levittown. O'Brien into the box, not going to help, it's goal kick. It is 13-13 left in the half with the score. Hurricane 2, Fury nothing, and Soccer 79 continues after this message. David Robb, give and go with O'Brien. Robb, Lukic, Nicky's shot, no problem for Paul Hammond.
He struck it well, but also he's limping a bit. He might have injured his quadricep or a thigh muscle in that shot because he's feeling a little bit of pain there. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Because apparently from the looks at the bench, there's not that much depth there. If we have to go in with Derek Trevis as a reserve, we might have some problems, if not already. Not that Derek was not a great player, but certainly he's not match fit at this time to go in and play 90 minutes.
Anderson into the box, and Rigby has it. Fury with 11 minutes and 17 seconds clock running here at the Astrodome, needing a goal before halftime to get back in this thing, trailing by a score of 2-0. Early goals at just a minute 21 in. Schubert, and then following on a corner kick at 8:51, Morales, and Rigby in the goal had given up 2 in less than 9 minutes, and that's the hole they're in right now, trying to come out of it. Going to be a corner kick?
No, I think...
Or a goal kick? No.
Yes, corner kick, yeah. The Fury would like to say hello to some of the friends that are watching at the famous and favorite pubs. Carney's Tavern in Roslyn, PA. Happy Hour, Levittown, PA. Bustleton Inn, Philadelphia, PA. We'll mention some other ones as well in a moment.
You have frequented all of those places, I assume.
Hey, nice places.
Just a little over 10 minutes to go, and the Fury trying to do something. We're going to be back here as Soccer 79 continues with the score. Hurricane 2, Fury nothing. We're back to the action, 2-0. The Houston Hurricane at home in the Astrodome. Very at home in the Astrodome, being chased down by Anderson. They've yet to lose here in 10 soccer matches, and they've got a 2-0 lead on 2 goals and 4 attempts.
And I just noticed over there on the other side, Brooks Sprider had a little bit of an altercation with Hoskovy. Words were exchanged, and Brooks was ready to give him the old Philadelphia right hook.
Worthington ahead to Robb at the 35-yard line.
Robb took Sullivan down from behind, and Peter Johnson caught him, so that it was a free kick. There it is. Robb, the old professional player's trick to put the heels and accidentally bring the player down, but the referee caught him, and a good decision by the referee.
Morales shot on and over the crossbar. No!
Corner kick.
Hello there.
That was a deflection, from Fran O'Brien's foot, and then Rigby couldn't handle it because it was really spinning very high, and then like a knuckleball effect here. So it could have been a bit of a problem. As you can see the ball spinning, and Riggs had to reach high and put it over the bar. This could be another in-swinger again, creating problems on the 6.
Rigby punches it out.
Now that's a good clearance. That was with a lot of confidence and done very well.
Hurricanes number 7, Schubert, who has a goal. Georgievich. And they've got 7.5 minutes to get something going now because they're trailing to 2-0.
Flag's up. It's an offside.
Offside against Lukic.
Lukic got picked off again. The Bustleton Inn in Philadelphia is where they're watching this one. Tubby's Pub in Philadelphia. Tom's Pub in Philadelphia. Stadium Bar in Philly. Sportsman's Lounge in Philly.
We get around a lot for a guy that's in Puerto Rico at the moment. You sure make the rounds. Rigby with Russell there.
Georgievich. Worthington. Georgievich.
Nicky Lukic, who had that great game against the Hurricane at Vet Stadium with a couple of goals and an assist. Menino. And taken away.
Stewart jumped at it very well. He shielded the ball with one foot and flipped it behind his back and took it off Peter Menino.
Morales and O'Brien. Morales is wondering what happened, and O'Brien's got the ball.
O'Brien took him down. It's a good decision and a direct free kick for the Hurricane. And let's have a look at it. Here's Morales doing a little bit of South American dance here, and O'Brien doesn't want to hear about that and just whacks him from the behind and brings him down.
Well, he could have got pushing. He could have got tripping.
I think tripping would be the right call on that one.
Anderson on the free kick. Kai Hoskeveen crossing to the far side on the left wing.
Charbonneau.
That's Charbonneau centering. Georgievich, or Nikolic knocking it away. Georgievich and Rigby will have it. Time remaining about 5.5 minutes. First half, 2-0. Fury is down. Rigby up to the midline.
And you could call this game even after the first 2 goals. It's just unfortunate they happened so early, and the Fury has not been able to come back because the defense is playing quite well. Dempsey's doing a steady job. Lukic is tearing it up in the back. Fright and O'Brien are very steady. So now we need some combination play in the middle and in the attack. A goal is needed at this moment.
Anything can happen because take, for instance, this afternoon, Detroit and Chicago played, and with just a couple of minutes remaining in the game, a couple of goals were scored, tied it up. So it can happen in both directions.
No question, and if the fans watch that one this afternoon on TV, that was some exciting soccer. 5-5 and then the shootout.
Rob. Nope, going to be a goal kick.
It's happening much better now. At midfield, they're putting stringing some passes together, and now we find people moving into spaces where they're free, such as Rob going wide there and trying to hit Worthington on the header.
Well, Houston's not about to let the air out of the ball yet. Well, of course, with 4.5 minutes to the half, play it rather conservatively, want to go in with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, they're going to try to run the clock now. They'll go wide and keep the ball and play a lot of possession, which is they're capable of because they have a lot of international quality players such as Hoskavi and Bertel and Schubert and Jump. They all can do that stuff. And Russell. Rigby came out very well in that one.
Yes, he seems to have warmed to the game now. Menino has it. Over the midline to the 35. Rob ahead of him, crossing over on the wing. Worthington. Reese over here. Does he see him? Goes to the center. Left foots it and stopped by Hammond.
That's a good effort. Good effort by Worthington. Put it on his left foot, his favorite foot, but just struck it right at Paul Hammond, so not that serious, but at least it was in good shooting range.
Worthington and Reese. Nicky Lukic. Dempsey. To the box.
And that was close. That was a good effort all around. Dempsey pumping the ball in the 6, and they need to do more of this. Stewart Jump is not very good in the air, and none of the back players, except maybe for Matt O'Sullivan, are very strong in the air. So Paul Hammond is not too anxious coming out of the box or out of the goal mouth area, so you'll see this ball being pumped right in there on the 6, and Worthington just misses it over the bar. But that's the kind of ball they need to send more often in the second half at least.
Well, we've got an offensive and a defensive player to select before this game is over, and I have no special feeling one way or the other at the moment, but I think the offense belongs certainly, and not just because of the goals, but because of the pressure being put on by Houston throughout most of this first 45 minutes. With less than 3 minutes to go at halftime, Reese.
The fans wanted a handball, but the referee says play on.
Rob. Georgievich. Worthington waiting in the middle. Georgievich, good move. Georgievich, Worthington. Worthington try to get it to Lukic. Worthington still in control, chips it over on the near side. O'Brien left foots it toward the box and headed away nicely. Good defensive play by
Charbonneau.
Hurricane Charbonneau. Now 2 minutes remaining. Well, they're setting up the offensive plays now. They are getting more shots on goal, 7-5.
Much better intensity. No question now. They're coming out with a lot of intensity and trying to do something right. And if they come out this way in the second half, I know they got to get one.
Frustration by Worthington. As Hammond stopped it easily. It was officially a shot on goal, so it's 8-5.
Oh, we could call it a pass to the goalkeeper.
Yeah. 2-0. The Hurricanes started off with a goal at 1:21 and another one at 8:51. After Bob Rigby just had enough time to put the uniform on and get in here, just acquired from Los Angeles in a cash deal, and a couple of mistakes, and I guess you can't, I should say, you can't fault a guy like that who's had a long plane ride and trying to get acquainted with the environment, the players, and everything else. He'll feel better when he gets back to Vet Stadium. He played there with the Atom.
He brought him a championship in '73, and he was the league all-star goalkeeper, and he's had a superb career, and I think he'll do very well for the Philadelphia.
You're watching the countdown, but there's still a minute attached to that, by the way. There you go. Now we're into the last minute. What a great time to second guess, though, right? I mean, you can second guess Marco Ballack all over the league now. Hindsight is wonderful. It's 2020.
Hey, those Monday quarterbacks are Monday coaches, huh? They are never wrong.
Easy to do.
I haven't lost a game on Monday yet.
Madison Russell. Russell shot on, score! Russell with 30 seconds to go gets what might be the clincher.
Yeah, that's a critical goal, and it's a nice combination play. I believe it was Dale Russell to Morasco, who pushed it through the middle again and put it on Dale's favorite foot, his left foot. And you can, the Philadelphia fans know about this boy. He scored enough goals for Philadelphia Textile. Let's have another look here. Here you see number 15, Morasco pushing Russell, and he hits it to the near post, and Rigby had no chance on that one.
His third of the year. And it's now 3-0, and there is the halftime. It couldn't have come at a worse time. Just before the half, a tremendous 3-0 deficit now that they've got to overcome. And I'm sure they're disorganized going back into the locker room. Houston, which hasn't lost at home, has in soccer an enormous lead. Walter 3-0.
3-0 is a big score, and Timo Lukowski will have his team very well organized for the second half. He's going to say, take the air out. Let's not get any yellow cards. Let's not get any red cards. Let's keep the ball. Let's bring him out of the back because they got to pressure. And here's Timo walking off now. He's got to be a happy guy because he's coming up after this victory, if it's in fact a reality 45 minutes from now, as the winningest coach in the league. He'll post his 15th victory. So a lot of credit to him and the good coaching, and his assistant, Dusty Hoffman, from the Philadelphia area, a young, capable coach who has helped him tremendously. Let's have a look at that last goal again. Here's number 15. It's Morales actually feinting to his right, drawing Reese, and then simply drawing Nikolic out of the middle, placing on Russell's left foot. Brooks Kreider is trying to come in and block it. No chance there. Shot on goal, and it's good. And the irony of the whole thing is Brooks Kreider and Dale Russell were teammates at Philadelphia Textile,
where Chisholm played and coached. That's the end of the first half with the score. Houston 3, Fury 0. Back for halftime activities after this.
To every man who works with fire and steel, this Bud's for you.
We are halftime at the Astrodome, and it's 3-0 the Hurricane. And with me is Tom Fleck, the general manager, who just set I believe, an all-time AT&T record for long-distance phone calls and overseas phone calls. Now, I don't know where to start with you, Tom. Safe to say that let's start with Bob Rigby first, because as we came on the air, my stat sheet said Van Aaron in goal, and someone called up and said, make that Rigby. How did you get him?
Bobby came on a very, very late transaction last night, Al. Actually, it was very early this morning from L.A., and we're really happy to see Bobby here. Unfortunately, the first half of play isn't indicative of the kind of play that Bobby Rigby can perform, of course, but look forward to seeing him changing that around real quick.
Got him for cash?
Yes, that's correct. It was a cash deal.
He wanted to come to Philadelphia, I understand.
Yeah, Bobby is a Philadelphia area player, educated here, went to East Stroudsburg State, played Philadelphia Adams and the like, and is very, very well liked in the community. He wanted back. Okay,
Murphy goes to the Fort Lauderdale club, and what other deals have been made?
Okay, Murphy to Fort Lauderdale for a young kid by the name of Leeper, and Curtis Leeper is presently the captain of the Pan Am team that Walt Chesowitz has presently in Puerto Rico, doing very well too.
Right.
So we're looking forward to Curtis coming on to help us out in the midfield.
Now, what about the deal that wasn't made? I know it's, you know, what good does it do to talk about deals that weren't made, but it was all over the press and everyone talked about it. So why don't you explain exactly what you were attempting to do and what finally happened?
Sure. We had what we considered to be a very fine deal worked out with with Tulsa and with L.A., and it was a deal that would have indeed really improved our organization in many respects, but unfortunately it didn't come about, and we had no control over it not coming about. Everything was set in motion, but it just didn't happen.
Worthington and Reese to Tulsa, that was the understanding, right?
That's correct. We had an arrangement whereby Frank Worthington and Richie Reese would have been going to Tulsa. In return, we would have been realizing quite a few players and draft choices and other things, a total package, if you will.
No, I can tell that you're not going to stop here. The general manager of the Fury, a very busy man. It's 3-0, unfortunately, for the Houston Hurricane down here in the Astrodome. Maybe things will change in the second half. We're going to be back after these messages.
$10,000 of life insurance sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But if you lost your husband's income today,
It's time now for the NASL Goal of the Week, brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. Each week, Budweiser presents the Goal of the Week, selected by Paul Gardner, editor of Soccer Express magazine, from the past week's NASL action.
This is Paul Gardner. This week we're in Fort Lauderdale. The Tulsa Roughnecks are leading the Strikers by 2-1 with only 30 seconds left to play.
Whalen trying to get it in there, battling for it now. Controlled by Irving. Irving will check it. Hudson is loose. Hudson will try to cross it with 10 seconds left. Hudson crosses it. The head ball scores!
Gert Miller tying the game for Fort Lauderdale with only 7 seconds left. With the Strikers doing all the pressing, Tulsa just could not get the ball out of their goal mouth. Then Ray Hudson, by sheer persistence, got the ball and worked it almost to the goal line. Here you see him confronting a fullback, pulling it back with his left foot, and then almost casually chipping this ball with his right into the middle, just over 2 defenders, and there is Gert Miller swinging his whole body into the ball to absolutely pound it into the net. It took Fort Lauderdale only 13 seconds of overtime to score the winning goal, with the final score, Fort Lauderdale 3, Tulsa 2.
Watch next week for the NASL Goal of the Week, selected from NASL action, and brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers.
Soccer 79 continues after this message from your local station.
Solo.
WPHL TV, Channel 17, Philadelphia.
Tom Fleck, general manager, with me. As long as I got you with me and we're live on television, I go to the vet and I watch them play against teams like Fort Lauderdale. Teams come in like Detroit, Tampa Bay. And they beat them, and they beat them good. A team like this, they beat the Hurricane. Then we come here and we televise. We're down 3-0 at halftime. Makes it a little difficult for the announcers. How do you explain this thing on the road?
It makes it even more difficult for a general manager to try to answer that question. We're no wins and 9 losses on the road, Al, and it's a tremendous concern. I don't have any answers right now. I really don't. We change our alignment accordingly. We go into 4 midfield players, as you've seen us do, thinking that maybe in the first half of the game we'll play it a little conservative, then come out and stick. Our conservative play has cost us 3 goals in the first half. I have some thoughts on the matter, but I'm sure no answers right now.
All right, but the Minnesotas are coming in and the Cosmos are coming in, and you play so well at the Vet, you're liable to knock off 2 of the powerhouses.
Oh, and we sure love to. I'll tell you, Al, we've got Minnesota top of their division, of course, and the Cosmos, and Cosmos are Cosmos. They're fantastic, and we do have a big series coming off with those people, and we can beat them at our park. Incidentally, on the evening of the Cosmos, the 21, it's going to be our shirt night. And the first 10,000 kids through are going to be given this very handsome shirt, compliments of Burger King.
Nice, but I think I've outgrown that by about 40 pounds. All right, look, enjoy, hopefully, the second half. Nice talking to you. Do you like the chair? Have you sat in it long enough to find out how it feels as general manager?
Yeah, it's a very comfortable chair, Al, and I'm hoping it's going to become a more happy one in the very upcoming weeks. Yeah?
Okay. Tom Fleck, general manager, Philadelphia Fury. Unfortunately, they're down 3-0 at halftime. We'll be back with the kickoff of the second half after this.
We met.
As we join you, we have a new goalie for you. We thought he was going to be the goalie when we started this telecast, but Keith Van Aaron, 1.66 goals against average coming into the game tonight, gave way initially in the first half to Bob Rigby, who's back, and there you see Paul Hammond.
Bob Rigby probably said to the coach, Coach Volok, hey, let me out of here. I've been on the plane all night and all day, and I haven't eaten all day, so give me a break. Let me get my head together so I can come back and show you that I can play goal.
Walt Chesowitz, Al Meltzer here live at the Houston Astrodome with the Hurricane leads the Fury 3-0. And Walt, you can take a look at the stats here as we kick off the second half.
Here they are. The Fury had 8 shots to Hurricane 6, but Hurricane has a pretty good percentage there, 500, 3 for 6. Fury has 3 saves, Hurricane 6 saves, corner kicks 5 for 5. 10 fouls for the Fury, 4 fouls for the Hurricane. The Fury got trapped 4 times offsides, and the Hurricane 1 time.
The only thing that counts is 3-0.
That's the big catch. It's, again, very unfortunate. Giving up 2 early goals, and I believe in the 2nd and the 6th minute of the game certainly didn't help. And then giving up a goal in the last minute of the first half caused all the problems that's maybe enough for them to come out with 9 solid points and take a point lead in the entire American Conference.
Walter Schubert at 121 on a corner kick. Morales at 8:51, and at 44:30 Dale Russell. That's the scoring, and it's all been Houston. The Fury in the dark uniforms.
I'll tell you what's happened, though. There's some adjustments and changes. I can see that the Fury's coming up very high and they're pressuring the ball immediately, so they're trying to get some goals early.
They're going to gamble, and if it doesn't, you know what happens at the other end. Something like right here. Man is wide open. Shot and a score immediately by number 6, Hutsky.
I'll tell you,
when gamble up on top and you do it in the back line, and there's no one there to stop him.
Yeah. When things go wrong, they certainly go wrong, and things are going very well for the Hurricane. They've done nothing wrong in the first half, and again, I believe it's their 7th shot, and they've scored on 4. And here it is. It's a counterattack, and I believe it's Morales again serving the ball to the far post, and Huskey takes it down on his left foot and rips it to the far corner out of reach of Keith Van Aaron.
Now here's a case where Van Aaron hasn't had any chance to warm up at all, except come out at halftime and handle a few balls in the warm-up, and then immediately he's thrown in, and he gives up a goal in a minute and a half of the game, as did Rigby at the top of the game. I think there's going to be a lot of second guessing that the coach did in the goal tonight. However, hindsight is 20/20, as we indicated, and it really has been very unfair here to blame it on the goalkeepers, particularly Rigby, as we indicated, who just got going, and Van Aaron, who just gets in the game. He hasn't had a chance to get the adrenaline flowing yet.
Yeah, and again, let's give credit to the Hurricane to take advantage of that problem, where they said, let's go right on the counterattack and test the keeper who's not warm, and there it was. Hoskavi parked one in the far corner, and it's 4-0.
Stewart jump number 13.
What's going to happen now is that regardless of what Fury do, tactically go up high or low as far as pressure concerned, they've got problems because Hurricane has enough skill to keep the ball and play keep away and tease him a little ball, take the air out of the ball, so Fury's in a lot of trouble for the second half.
Shades of what happened out in Tulsa.
Oh, here's a
Worthington from outside the box, but no problem for Hammond. He had to look at it all the way in.
That's about 35 shooting range, and Hammond certainly can handle that kind of stuff, but at least well taken. Hammond was caught a little bit out of position, but he's 6'4", and he can get back in safe time to recover from shots like that.
The goal by Hoskavy at 46-24, which means 1 minute and 24 seconds into the top of the second half, as they had scored 1:21 into the start of the game. As you take a look at number 16 of the Philadelphia Fury, Dusan Lukic.
He was just caught for pushing from behind. It's a direct free kick, and Ian Anderson's going to put it into play. The captain of the team now, he was traded or acquired by the Houston Hurricane. Timo Lakowski acquired him last year from the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Difficult, Walter, having seen these two teams play at Vet Stadium, to realize that the Fury could outplay them so badly there and be 4-0 behind here in the Astrodome.
That's difficult to comprehend for me as well, but we got to remember that 4 new players are in this lineup that didn't play in Philadelphia. Schubert and Bertel and Hoskavi and Charbonneau, those 4 were not in the lineup, and I think they're the nucleus of the team. Morales.
Hoskavi did. He scored.
I'm sorry.
Not that it makes any difference, that's academic, but the problem has been in goal tonight, no doubt about it. 2 cold goalkeepers. The Fury returns home against Minnesota, and Alan Willie and the rest of those Minnesota kicks. That'll be the night that you get the jerseys we showed you at halftime, and a special feature of the Special Olympics at halftime. Tickets at Tickets on the Fury office, or call 755-5400. July 18. The Minnesota kicks, and he couldn't get to it. Hammond beat him to the ball.
And a good effort there, and they should have got one this time. And David Robb had an easy, almost layup here. Georgievich heads the ball, knocks it out of Hammond's reach. Here's the shot, and it's blocked by, I believe, Charbonneau blocked it, and Hammond pounced on it.
What is it?
But a great opportunity. You should have had that one.
Chesowitz's law: if things can go wrong, they will.
I think that's my law, and I got it from Galileo.
Knocked out of bounds by Reese. That'll be a throw-in for the Hurricane in the white. And the Fury down 4. They were down 2 early, gave up 1 with 30 seconds to go in a minute. And change into the... Oh, hello there, the bicycle kick. Morales puts on a good show for the folks. Why not? They're ahead by 4-0, as you say.
It's showtime, and 4-0, everybody's relaxed, everybody's confident, and they're going to put on the clinic now because they got 4 goals. They're going to go with all the best they have in their technical competence, and they're certainly going to exemplify it as much as possible for the next 35 minutes.
Race. Taken away by Charbonneau.
I think he should have got called for a foul there. Charbonneau clipped him pretty high, and Peter Johnson said play on.
It'll be difficult to pick out one offensive player for the game tonight for the Hurricane, which will undoubtedly get the offense and the defensive player of the game by the time we finish. Sullivan and Dempsey.
There's a good counterattack. Oh, unlucky. Mishandled the ball, and the Hurricane recovered, but good turnabout.
David Robb. Off on the wing to Worthington. Worthington.
Unlucky again, but well done. I believe it was a deflection by Hammond. It's a corner kick, and Worthington is just shaking his head. He's had some bad luck here, but he puts on a great move here. He feints to his left and drives the ball with his left foot, and Paul Hammond just tips it over the bar, parried it over. Well done by the keeper. And the story of the game is that every time Hurricane came down, they were able to capitalize. Philly comes down and can't catch a break.
Russell.
That looked very dangerous, but Pete Menino broke that up very well because that could have been number 5.
Schubert. And a trip.
Oh, yes.
Against Franny O'Brien.
Franny O'Brien take it down right on the edge of the penalty box. So it'll be a direct free kick right on top of the 18.
They scored on a direct free kick at the top of the game.
Here it is. Fran O'Brien first charged him from behind. Schubert still had play-on situation, and then finally brought him down with an American football tackle. Fair enough.
Heck of a play. Wrong sport.
Maybe Dick Vermeil's looking for him.
Direct free kick. And I think Rigby got, or Van Aaron got a hand on it. We didn't see the camera. Let's check it out here, and we're going to look at it. However, before we do that, we'll tell you that Soccer 79 continues with the Hurricane on top of the Fury 4-0. Back to the live action at the Astrodome with 35 minutes to go, and it's 4-0. Hurricane leading. Scoring early and late at the top of the half and at the bottom at the early moments here of the second half. They've had 10 shots on and 4 goals. The Fury with 13 shots, nothing to show, and good save by Van Aaron. Russell.
And again, great combination play between Morales and Russell, and the give and go, and Russell with a volley kick just by the post. And let's take a look at this, and this is some good stuff again. Russell flicks it, and Morales, Morasco lays it back, and Russell on the volley kick by the post, and close call.
Hammond keeps it. And the Hurricane, with only 34 minutes to go, with a 4-0 lead at home, where they haven't lost this year, can do pretty much what they want to do. Menino. And Worthington. Worthington into the box. Would it have been offside? No, no call. Georgievich was there. Hammond gets it out immediately to Hoskovy. Ahead to Schubert, who has a goal, the first goal of the game. Hoskovy, he has a goal. Hoskovy. And Van Aaron makes the save.
That's well done by Keith Van Aaron. He read the whole situation, but again, you can see that the Hurricane team is doing all kinds of give and goes on top of the D, and the Fury defense is a bit disorganized. The middle's open, and let's look at this combination play, well executed by the Hurricane. A give and go, Hoskovy to Bertel, who then collects the ball, and Keith Van Aaron read it, came out, blocked it, and then recovered it. But it's just like in basketball. If you're up 30 points and everything goes.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's cool and loose. There's a frustrated guy for several reasons. Frank thought that he wasn't getting enough service, meaning that he wasn't getting the ball enough. He decided maybe he'd like to be traded, and they tried to accommodate him to Tulsa, and the owner of the team he plays for, Bolden, in England, said, no way. We want him back here at the start of our season. And if he goes to Tulsa, he'd probably have to go into the playoffs and miss a couple of games. And he is their big gate draw there, so got mixed feelings. He's down here. He wants to play soccer. He doesn't particularly want to play in Philadelphia, and he's down 4-0, and he knows he can't be traded, and what else can happen? Maybe a blowout on the way back to the hotel or something. How does a guy like Rich Reese feel knowing that he was part of the deal?
Well, psychologically not too good. And speaking of that, I think he was just being substituted. Rich Reese was taken out, and for him, number 17, Jim McEwen, has come in.
We haven't seen him hardly at all in our telecast. This might be a first.
Not on our no, I believe he did see some action in Memphis.
Down the Memphis game?
Yes. But what has happened, they've pushed up Fran O'Brien into midfield, which is, there he is. And here's Jim McEwen. He hails from the Trenton area. was a standout in the Trenton area, as well as many other great players from that area. Myron, Gazonis, and Murphy, a slew of them. The two Bowen twins who are now with the Pan American teams. One of them is John is, and Jim Bowen is going to Colorado Springs for the Olympic Festival. Trenton has put up some great players, American players at least.
Menino's going to get a shot on. Take it, Peter. Centers. O'Brien. And Hammond makes the good save. He really, that's good save.
Oh, that's a great
save. He hadn't
save.
had too many tough ones tonight, but that was a good.
That was a good one, and Fran O'Brien took it well. And a good execution all around. We'll see a good give and go here, pushing Pete Menino through. He bends the ball, and then Fran O'Brien collects it very nicely. Russell tries to block it, but a volley kick, and Paul Hammond responded very well. For a big guy, he has good reflexes, and he saved the goal.
Time remaining, 31 minutes and 10 seconds in the game, and it's 4-0. On 11 shots on, 4 goals scored by the Houston Hurricane, 12 saves for Hammond. Philadelphia, 14 shots on, and it's yet to score.
But I'll tell you, Philadelphia hasn't quit, even though they're down 4. I think maybe a little bit of pride here is at stake, and they're trying to do their best, and they're fighting, and they're going at it. And I got to think that they have to come up with a couple goals soon, because they've put in all kinds of pressure. O'Brien just missed a close one, and prior to that, Worthington leveled one. So maybe we'll get something happening soon.
Well, from here, they got a West Coast swing, the San Jose, San Diego deal, and not too good to lose 4-0 on a road trip to start it off with.
Nicholas.
And McEwen gets in immediately, tackles out of bounds. Now Fury ball, throw in.
That was a good tackle as well. He came in very strong, blocked the ball off Morales' feet, and got a throw in.
Worthington and Hoskovy, nothing there? Okay, I thought for a moment a little shoving going on.
A little wrestling just to add to the attraction.
David Robb, second leading scorer behind Giorgio Gianaglia, but so far nothing tonight. David got a couple of shots on him, not even sure he got that.
Now, David had a good opportunity earlier, about 5 minutes ago, when Georgievich deflected the ball off Paul Hammond's hands, and then Charbonneau blocked it, so that was also another close chance.
Oh, how about that? Worthington, Georgievich, offsides.
Offsides, and it's a good call. David Robb was offsides, and but a great flick by Worthington.
Soccer 79 will continue live here in Houston with the Hurricane leading after these messages. On the big message board here in the Astrodome, it says blowout party in the Astrodome Club following the game tonight. I guess they mean it. It's 4-0. On Saturday night, July 21st, the Fury and the North American Soccer League champion, New York Cosmos. And the first 10,000 people arriving that night received that good-looking Fury T-shirt, courtesy Burger King. It's the biggest soccer night of the year, and you can stop by Ticketron, the Fury office. The better call 755-5400.
And guess who's going to be ready for that one? Franz Beckenbauer, coming off his injury. He had a cartilage operation, and they say that he'll be doing his debut again against the Philadelphia Fury. So, if anything, let's come out and see the Cosmos and Franz Beckenbauer back in the lineup. All the superstars.
Beckenbauer,
Try Neskins and try Ricky Davis.
And we have Nicky Nikolic down. Bruce, take a look at him. It's the calf muscle, I guess.
Calf muscle, might be a cramp. It looks more like a cramp than anything else.
Well, let's see.
Let's take a look at this replay, and here's Nicky coming in on a slide tackle, and he really goes down hard on the turf. And this is the bad part of the turf, that anytime you go down and there is no give, and there's a lot of friction from the turf, and consequently you jam the foot or whatever. But he's up, and he's a tough competitor. Nicky goes at it very strong, and he's not a quitter. He's going to fight until the 90 minutes are up.
And there's only 27.5 minutes remaining in the soccer match. Houston with a score of 4-0. As time has been called momentarily. Okay, we can go now.
Ian Anderson is going to put the ball in play, and I think he's going to come in with the big throw.
To the box. And Hoskovy limping a little bit. Dempsey got him from behind, but We're going to be back here with the score of 4-0. At Soccer 79 will continue after these messages.
Someday you...
I got something to show you. You see, Brent O'Brien, number 3? Well, let's show you what he just did about 10 seconds ago.
And look at this. David Robb on the left side pulls the ball back. Worthington sets it up, and Fran O'Brien with his left foot drives one in the upper corner, and it's a good goal, a great combination all around, so it's 4-1. And as I said, it's a lot of credit to these 11 fellows. Even though they were down from the first moment, they fought, and they're still fighting, and I said there was going to be some goals to be had by Philadelphia. This is one, and I think we may be able to get a few more. But this is a great play by David, and Worthington sets him up with his left foot, and Franny drives it home.
First
so
goal of the year for
4-1.
Franny. That was excellent play there by Worthington to keep it alive in the middle. And so just as we were about to come back and the goal was scored, 1 second prior to that, I was talking to Walter saying, well, let's see, who can we pick as the defensive player of the game? And we both agreed that if Hammond had a shutout, he'd get it. Hammond doesn't have a shutout anymore. So scratch him for defensive player of the game. Dusan Lukic, Frank Worthington. Into the box. Too far. Berkel ahead. We have a sub in the game now. Number 21's into the game, and that would be Nino Zec.
Nino Zec.
Z-E-C.
He's a Yugoslav player who played for Atlanta Chiefs, and he was acquired last week. An excellent midfielder. He was injured for a long period. Didn't see much action in Atlanta, but was just acquired, and he might be a big help.
We're going to get a corner kick out of this? I think so.
No, it hit the post.
It hit the
post. So the ball goes out of bounds, but again, a good effort by David Robb trying to bring the ball back in a similar situation that Philadelphia scored just moments ago. But let's watch number 21 for the Hurricane. He's a midfielder as well, and an excellent player. He's of the caliber of Djordjevic and Lukic and those kinds, and I'm sure Coach Volok knows him very well.
With 25 minutes remaining, it's 4-1. Houston in the light uniforms, the Fury in the unlucky traveling uniforms. They'll be 0-10 after tonight unless a miracle happens. They're down by 3. Worthington and O'Brien just got his first goal. Worthington is exceptional with that ball, Walter.
For a big man, he is. That's exactly correct. He's very exceptional because he has skills of a little man. He can cut the ball sharply, has good agility, good flexibility, and he has a superb, powerful left foot.
Lukic and Menino trying to get something going over on the near side. Robb, nothing. And Bertel has it. Lukic gets it back. O'Brien. Worthington. Frank. Hammond makes the save.
And again, unlucky for Worthington, but good penetration and good pressurizing by Philadelphia. Fran O'Brien and Worthington working very well together. They've come up with one score and almost just another one. The angle was difficult, and Hammond handled it very easily. But they're banging around the area.
16 shots on goal, and they trail 4-1. Hammond working with jump.
But really, statistically, if you look at those shots, many of them are shots from angles that the goalkeeper handles with ease. So
he's had 2 out of 16 that I thought were really tough. Yes. Bertel. And taken away by Nicky Nikolic. Dusan Lukic. Russell on his back. Russell. Zec. Going to be an offside. I didn't see any flag going up. No, just knocked out of bounds. It'll be thrown in by Franny O'Brien. Time remaining 22:40 and running. David Robb. Peter Menino. Frank Worthington. At the 35. Ahead to David Robb. Here comes Robb.
Yes.
That is good. Goal.
Again.
4-2. Nice
David
play.
Robb.
I think O'Brien got his second goal of the night.
Fran O'Brien, and again, almost a similar combination. And here's Fran O'Brien, pushed up to midfield in the second half, replacing Richard Reese, gets his second goal of the season, and it's 4-2, and they're fighting back very, very well. And here it is, Frank Worthington to Menino. Menino spots David Robb, a good pass through. David with his left foot fakes first time and then drops it back, and there's almost a deflection, and then it goes into the far corner. 4-2, and it's a war now because we still have 21 minutes. Philadelphia has the momentum, and as they exemplified themselves in Tulsa, second half they came back and fought very hard. So hopefully something will happen. It's still in the 21 minutes.
O'Brien.
Mr. Meltzer.
Well, look, Walter, I'm not saying, but when you're down 4-0 in soccer, that's a long, long way to go in a game where one goal.
No question about it, but a lot of credit to this team coming out in the second half and just banging away, and now they got the momentum, and look, they're fighting and they're winning balls.
They have to gamble, however, as we indicated, pressuring the ball, getting everybody up. O'Brien on the tackle. You gotta have a hard time not giving O'Brien Offensive Player of the Game if they lose. I thought he played very well against the Dips. There's Lukic. Worthington. He's due for something here. Frank. I'll try to center it in the box. Djordjevic runs it down.
Get out!
Menino. Dempsey and Menino. No, that's Djordjevic. Robb.
Oh, unlucky there, but they're stringing some good passes together, good combinations, and a lot of good stuff is happening. Now, if they came out in the first half and played at this intensity, then I believe the game might have been even, or if not Philadelphia ahead. But
well, if they broke a sweat early, it was before they got organized. 8 minutes and 41 seconds gone in the game, and they're down 2-0. It's very difficult. Here they come. It's been their soccer match in the last 15 minutes. And this guy O'Brien with a couple, his first two of the year, and he's
doing it. There's a great pass again.
Who touched it last? Is it a goal kick or a corner kick?
Referee's pointing for the goal kick.
Goal kick.
But good combination. Fran O'Brien pushed Pete Menino through, but goal kick.
The score is 4-2, and the time remaining 20 minutes, and we're going to be back with more Soccer 79 in just a moment. Back to the action. Djordjevic over the 35. And intercepted by Charbonneau. Ahead to Berger. Nice play, Dempsey.
That's a good tackle. Well done by John Dempsey.
Lukic. No. Bertle. Gonna get a shot. Dempsey clears it out. There's O'Brien.
Coach behind you, John.
O'Brien and Menino working. O'Brien getting away from jump. O'Brien into clear. O'Brien centers. And no problem.
Oh, but still a good effort and almost another scoring chance. And Hoskovy broke that one up, but O'Brien went through two people, did a nice job in setting something up.
O'Brien has become a midfielder. Maybe this is it for him tonight.
He's played there in the past as well. I think Marko Valak has used him at midfield, and last year he showed a little bit of action in midfield. He's capable of playing there. He has good skill, he has good vision, and he can finish at times. And today he's proved it by scoring 2 goals.
I think the Hurricane is going to be content to sit for a little while here.
Well, if they're smart, they should.
After a shot like that, they won't. Nice play by Dempsey, getting it back to Keith Van Aaron, playing in the second half. And if you just joined us, Bob Rigby, just a purchase from Los Angeles, started tonight. And unfortunately, 3 goals scored on him in the first half. But in all fairness to him, he just got off the plane. That's Hoskovy. Crossing. Sets. Marasco. And it'll be thrown in by the Hurricane. Time remaining just about 16 and a half minutes. 4-2. Hurricane leading. And the Hurricane score the first 4. And O'Brien's come back with a couple, and they're going to have another substitution. Number 11 coming into the game will be Juan Carlos Machia.
Juan Carlos is still another South American import on Timo Lukowski's team, and he, coupled with two other front runners, Morales and Marasco, make up the Argentinian mafia.
Oh.
Or connection.
Connection, please.
All right.
Horst Bertel just went out of the game, and Horst played a heck of a game. And here now we have Weibold coming in. And
Tom Weibold
Weibold
from Rider College, again from the Trenton area. He's seen very low action this year, but looks like Coach Bollock wants to put him in there and give him some experience and playing time.
So McEwen and Weibold and Rigby, and all that's left is Travis and Miller that haven't played tonight. That on the active roster, they had 15 players. Here comes Schubert, and no problem for Keith. That goal right at the end of the first half and the top of the second half. Put them down 4-0. First two you can overcome sometime, but those last two, getting yourself down with still almost 45 minutes to go and you're down 4-0.
That's tough to come back, but still we got, I'm still optimistic. 16 on the clock. They're still banging at it. They haven't given up.
Got to get another one.
They got two. They gave one within the next 6 minutes, 4-3. Then you got 10 minutes to equalize. So let's see what happens.
Well, they've knocked on the door 17 times. They've outshot them 17-12. Worthington. Menino and Worthington, and it's going to be a throw-in.
And I think they're going to go for the big one. They're going to go for the big throw into John Dempsey. You see him in the box there. They're going to pump it. There it is. Big air ball. There's a flick on. Unlucky.
Schubert.
Oh, well done by Keith Van Aaron. Dale Russell pushed him through, and Marasco was on his way for the fifth goal for the Hurricane, and Keith Van Aaron came up with a superb save, keeping Philadelphia still alive, and there's still some hope left.
Time 15
Let's
minutes.
take a look at that last save, Al.
Lukic, wait a minute. Something may happen here. Nikita Robb, and it's going to be...
Here we go. Let's take a look at that last save.
Corner kick.
Again, good combination play, and this is Michia, who just got in the game. Drops the ball into that area, and there is Keith Van Aaron breaking up very well, because that was a one-on-one and possibly a fifth goal. Corner kick in a dangerous situation for Philadelphia. Pete Menino's going to take the kick, and everybody's up. Dempsey's up. Worthington's there. Robb's there. A lot of height, and hopefully they can do something here.
Time 14.5 minutes. Headed up by Russell. Kept in play by Lukic. Into the box. Worthington. Great shot. No, why? Or a stop, one or the other. Did he get a hand on it?
He blocked it. He blocked it. Hammond came out with a great save. That might be the turning point. And take a look at this one. Here they're trying to do an offside strap, and Ian Anderson really messed it up for the Hurricane because he didn't come out in time, and the referee made the right decision. The ball landed on Worthington's left foot. He drove it very well, but again to the near post, and Paul Hammond had no problem stopping that one.
Frank has had unofficially 6 shots on tonight. O'Brien, Dempsey, he can't get it. Menino ahead. And now Charbonneau gets it out of the way, and the Hurricane will be content now to just keep the ball out of the box. Drawn by Brooks Kreider.
Fantastic pressure by the Fury. This is
played so well in the last 25 minutes.
Yes, they have.
Dempsey ahead. Robb. Ooh! Who just caught that one? Get his number.
That was Charbonneau, blocked it. That was Dave Robb, who took it very well on the drop kick, and might have been goal bound, and the Charbonneau blocked it with his thigh.
I think there's no foul. They say play on. It's still Houston ball. Muscovy. 13 minutes to go. 4-2. Fury down by 2. They were down by 4. Dempsey got a foot on it. They'll start it up again. That's Machia. Von Aaron. They don't waste any time trying to get up. Frank Worthington. Crossing to Nicky Lukic. Off ahead to O'Brien, who has 2 goals. Throw in by Worthington. Another goal, and it could get very interesting. That's what it is now with only 12 minutes and 11 seconds left. Time running.
Good pressure by the Fury, and again, Lukic sent O'Brien through very nicely, and they're doing some very effective stuff.
Ascovy and Russell. Russell has a goal tonight. Dale Russell, marked by Dempsey, forced him to give it up. Whistle. The whistle's in the stands, must be. I thought I heard the whistle. Yeah. That's going to mess things up a little bit. Nikolic took one for the club, too, right there.
I'll tell you, he's having a superb game back there. He's working his heart out, getting a few knots here and there, but still fighting as well as always. He's a very good competitor.
Well, they got to move upfield. Lukic dribbling the ball. Nicky passing up to Worthington. Worthington trying to get it over on the near side. Cannot do it to Tommy Weiber. What do you do now as a coach, Walter? You just fill everybody up? I mean, the forwards just play all the way up?
Well, I think what you need to do is, and I think they're trying to do it a little bit, is you have to match up man for man. Play without a sweeper, go up high, match up and pressure and try to win the ball, because you're still taking a risk, but not a very high risk. This is the only solution left, really, with 10 minutes on the clock.
Ascovy. Everybody catching their breath. Anderson.
Roscoe, here by Nikolic. Juan Carlos Vizca.
Centered by Schubert. Russell into the box. Offside.
Offsides. Good call, and there was Russell again. He spotted someone, and they're offsides.
4-2 with time remaining exactly 10 minutes, 5 seconds. Score. Hurricane 4, Fury 2. We'll have more Soccer 79 in just a moment. We are back live with 8 minutes, 54 seconds running, and there's the score. The Hurricane started off with 2 quick ones. Less than 9 minutes into the game. Scored with 30 seconds to go at the end of the half. Led 3-0. A minute 24 into the second half. Led 4-0. Then 2 goals by O'Brien have brought the Fury back at 53-25 and 67-45. And really, since that 4th goal, it's been all Fury in this half. But the only thing that counts is the scoreboard.
Frank Worthington has been very unlucky. He's had 4 or 5 shots well taken, but still nothing on the money, and that's been the story.
Dale Russell. Schubert, where's the goal? He had the first goal on a direct free. Into the box, Dempsey gets it out of there. Here's O'Brien.
And I'll tell you who's been doing it for the Hurricane, Dale Russell for sure. He's going both ends, playing defensively very well, getting into the attack, scoring one and assisting on another one.
Von Aaron, good save. Ascovy had it dead, and Von Aaron came out to get it.
Great save again by Keith, and the fans wanted the penalty kick prior to that, where Ascovy was taken down, and it looked like a penalty kick to me, but let's take a look at that sequence, because Ascovy did go down here. They're fighting through a traffic of people, and here it lands on Ascovy, and there it is. He really got number 16, of course, is Lukic, who really took him down from behind, and then he still got up and pursued it, and then Keith Van Aaron came out and blocked it very well.
Philadelphia Fury hosting an amateur tournament for selected all-star teams from the Delaware Valley. They'll soon start competition for the Ben McLaughlin Cup, the Jimmy Mills Cup, and the Fury Cup, starting at various locations in the Valley for the final scheduled Saturday, August 4, immediately preceding the Fury-Portland Timbers game at the Vet. O'Brien trying for his third, and
oh, he should have taken it earlier. Wanted to dribble the keeper. Intercepted the ball in the 25, and nothing happened. And take a look at this one. What a great opportunity. Charbonneau miskicks the ball. O'Brien intercepts it. He and the keeper, and now instead of firing, he went for a dribble. Paul Hammond read it and took it off his feet. Could have been 4-3 with 6 minutes to go. And speaking of that amateur competition, Jimmy Millscup, another great man, a former Olympic coach of the United States teams, and has done a lot of good things in the Philadelphia area for soccer for many years. Coach at Haverford College, and just very involved in the soccer community, and they're dedicating a cup in his honor.
Time remaining, and that's what's important now. 6 minutes, and it's 4-2, and Mickey Lukic centering. Nothing in the well, okay. Penalty there is a penalty kick, but nothing happened. Strider, that's it. Menino. Can't do anything with it. 21 is Zetz. Barrasco. Taken away by Menino, and they come up the other way.
Billy McEwen was on that tackle as well. He pinched in and intercepted the ball, and now it's Lukic coming out of the back looking to serve it long to O'Brien. And O'Brien's really fighting. He's going both ends as well from midfield. He's had 2 goals. He should have had another one just moments ago, and almost taken down here and looking for a penalty kick, but the referee gave him a play on.
Well, we have selected our offensive player of the game. The Lipton offensive player is Kai Huskevy of the Hurricane. It was a goal and several shots on, and he's been tough tonight.
Kai is an outstanding player, a former international player for Finland, and certainly a good friend of Timo Lukoski, who originally did come from Finland and then spent some time in the American Army, and then went to Hartwick College, became an All-American, then coached under Al Miller, and then worked with Miller in Dallas, and now became the head coach here.
And the defensive player, well, you might accuse us of a little provincialism. He's a Philadelphia boy, but he has played well at midfield. The defensive player, Dale Russell, he's kind of the heart of that defense.
No question, he's the heart of his role now this year is a defensive midfield, and he does a superb job going both ends. He defends well, and he intercepts a lot of balls, and then he sets up a lot of people and scores as well. So he demonstrated that very well tonight.
Worthington to O'Brien, weak.
And once again, it's Paul Hill for Houston.
4 minutes 10 and running.
And again, a lot of good pressure. Fran O'Brien serving the near post, and Paul Hammond intercepted that one.
We'll have more Soccer 79 in just a moment. The score is 4-2. Hurricane leading. Walter wants to talk about a few more of those tappies where he spent some of his time when he's in Philadelphia or watching the game tonight.
Hey, let's give them credit because they're watching a good second half, and Philadelphia has been very dynamic in the second half, headed by Fran O'Brien. But P&B in Philadelphia, PA, another bar that services the Philadelphia soccer community. Dugan's, Philadelphia, PA, Par 4, Philadelphia, PA, Schillings in Blackwood, New Jersey. And then we have Sportsman's Lounge in Philadelphia, PA. Tarangino's Hillcrest Tavern in Bridgeton, New Jersey, and American Legion Club in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. All those people are watching us, and we can't pull this one out.
Well, it's going to be difficult. There's 2 minutes 11 seconds to go, and that's the score. But if you divide it up into half, why don't you just say that for a half, maybe 47 minutes, it was all Hurricane. And from that point on, it's kind of been all Fury. However, the Hurricane got 4, and it's going to be very tough.
There's a free kick, and
Rob says, get out of the way. We're going to get it now. Let's see, Worthington or Rob? Which one? There's Hammond.
One's going to go over the ball, and I think Rob will. And I was wrong again. David Robb takes it direct on goal and right into the hands of Paul Hammond. Shots from that area are not that easy to score on.
22 shots on goal to 16.
Of which 10 of them were very dangerous situations, and Paul Hammond had a lot to do in stopping a lot of them, and Fran O'Brien could have had a hat trick. He decided to take Paul Hammond on the dribble instead of firing as he did on the first 2 goals, and unlucky for him.
There's the time. I don't know whether in Yugoslavia they criticized the coach for making his moves, but I think Marco better be ready for some second guessing on the part of the Philadelphia soccer fans about his choice of goalie in both the first and second half tonight. Starting Rigby with hardly any rest and just off the plane, and then bringing in a Colt Van Aaron who gave up a goal less than 2 minutes into the half. So,
well,
whatever.
That's the life of a coach, you know. When he's right, he's right. When he's wrong, he's wrong. But so
that's probably the story of this game. All right, here you go. Oh, good move by Van Aaron.
Van Aaron again superbly coming out, and Zetz was moving in. Russell pushed him through again, and Zetz dribbled Van Aaron, but Keith came out and cut the angle beautifully. Here's Russell pushing Dino Zetz through. Zetz is on his way, coming off and cutting, and Zetz. No, Brooks Kreider actually knocked it out of bounds for a corner kick. So he saved the goal.
Extremely well right after that first goal at the top of the second half. And from that point on, he's really played very well. He's made a lot of tough stops. Time is winding down. There's less than 30 seconds. There it is right there. It's going to be the 11th straight at home for the Hurricane and the 10th straight loss on the road for the Fury and O'Brien over the crossbar, trying for the triple. I know how you feel, Franny. He's been a heck of a night. He's played very well.
He played superbly.
I could have made him offensive player of the game, but if you lose 4-2, I guess you got to go with
the winner. Yep.
And we're coming down, and that's going to do her. It's been 2 halves of soccer, unfortunately. You got to play both halves, and that's the way it goes, and the game is over. Final score, the Houston Hurricane 4 and the Philadelphia Fury 2. That's the final. Back with the wrap-up after this.
In the last 2 years, over 75,000 men and women have opened checking accounts at the Provident. Why? Because we offer the best deal. Of the 5 largest banks in town, the Provident still offers the best deal. The lowest minimum balance for no-charge checking, $200. And a great deal on extras like automatic transfers and check bouncing protection. If you have a feeling you're not getting as good a deal from your bank, we have a feeling we should be your bank.
People do some crazy things to get better mileage. So Gulf would like to recommend a few that aren't so crazy, like keeping your tires properly inflated, getting extra weight out of your trunk, or checking for a leaky fuel line connection. These simple things can get you better mileage, and that's smart. So get the most out of the gas you buy and the place you buy it. Drive smart. Does this really work?
As long as we stay out of tunnels.
And there it is as Hammond walks off with a 4-2 win. The game was decided kind of early.
No question about it. In fact, in the first minute and 21 seconds, Walter Schubert put the team ahead. Bob Brigby called and goal, allows the first one. Ruben Morales comes back with in the 8th minute. In the 44th minute, Dale Russell gets another one. In the 46th minute, Haskali puts him 4-0. O'Brien comes back for Fury in the 53rd minute. O'Brien comes back on the 67th minute. There's Dale Russell, defensive player of the game. Deservingly so, has played superbly. He's had a great year, and congratulations to him, and lots of luck for him in the future.
Well, there's Kyle Rowe Jr., who did not get into the game tonight. That's it for Walt Chiszewicz. This is Al Meltzer. Ron Bain, Director of Broadcasting for the League, and Executive Producer John Kashouris, produced and directed tonight by Mark Pate. Sensational job. Technical direction by Glenn Anderson. Hughes Television Network, and it has been our pleasure to bring you this telecast live from the Houston Astrodome. The final score, 4-2, the Hurricane over the Fury. And you'll join us, please, on the 28th from New England as the Fury and the T-Men get it together right here on TV 17. Good night, everybody.
Hey, trading cards. I had the greatest collection on my block. Got Lazinski?
Sure do.
How about Larry Boa?
Right here.
Got Pete Rose?
He's a toughie.
Let's try our luck at Burger King.
Oh, let's go.
Now Burger King has official Topps baseball trading cards. 22 Philadelphia players to collect. You get a pack of 3 cards and a player checklist when you buy a large order of French fries.
Wow, Pete Rose.
Hey, don't get shut out. Get all 22 Philadelphia cards at Burger King.
Double dating, double jumping, double creature in a double feature. But the single most favorite double in the world is double good, double mint gum.
Double your pleasure with Double Mint Gum. Double good, double fresh, double delicious.
Oh, the single most favorite double in the world is double good, double good, double mint gum.
There's no single gum like it.
Rough, tough, sturdy, ready for abuse steel doors from Doors Unlimited, a major manufacturer of steel, storm, and wood doors. Quality, low prices, and the largest selection. Fully insulated steel and storm energy savers. Protection, security. Got the facts, we've got the doors. Factory showrooms on Germantown Avenue and Torresdale Avenue, or shop at home. Free estimates.